Patrick Cook here. Thanks for joining me in session number 12 of our Mandelbulb3D animation Copilot. And what I want to do is I want to show you another feature of the Copilot which can come in quite handy. I'm just going to clean up a little bit here. Let's get rid of all these keyframes here. Let's pull in from main. Let's get cleaned up here. Let's go to test one. Let's start over. But fine, we're already started over. All right, now, okay. I've already shown you how you can use your controller and you can move through the scene. There's going to be plenty of times you're going to say, wow, that was a cool move and that was a lot of work. All right, maybe something like maybe you're doing a level flight, all right, and then you want to do a banking left-hand turn, like an airplane, all right. So what you do is, you need to bank, and you need to turn, and look, all right, and then you want to level out. You level out just like an airplane, a nice, smooth, natural movement through the scene. Like that, okay? Or maybe you want to do a nice level and all of a sudden you look down and you dive. Or how about if you, like an airplane, you come along here and you stall. Ooh, why not? You can do all of that. You've got all of the X, Y, and the Z axes that your camera, you have a single camera now, okay? You can do every single X, Y, and Z coordinate of your camera. You can do all of that. You need help in doing that unless you just want to sit here and figure it all out mentally. You can do all that. But what happens is if you get a decent move, wouldn't it be nice if you could kind of store that and replicate it? All right. Well, that's what the Move Designer does. All right, let's do this. Let's do a nice simple move. So I kind of started all over again here. Let's back this up like that, so we got something to work with. All right, so I'm going to go into capture mode. I'm going to walk forward 2 times. Okay, make that a keyframe. I'm going to move forward 2 times. So now what I want to do is I want to start looking down. I want to do a dive. Okay. So I've walked forward 2 times. I want to keep walking forward now. That's important. I got it like I'm flying. I got to keep moving forward. So the walk forward has to be in every keyframe. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down. And I got to look down. There we go. All right. I'm going to look down 1. I'm going to start looking down, just like that. I don't want to look down like that. I want to start looking down. Start like that. So I'm going to look down 1. Now, I'm going to walk forward again now. I got to keep that movement going. Now I'm going to look down 2 times. So I'm going to look down 1 and then now 2 times. I'm going to walk forward. Now I'm going to look down 3 times. Okay. Walk forward. And I'm going to look down 4 times. 4. You see the 4? Look, LD4. Keyframe. Okay. So what I've got, stop the capture. Let's see what I got here. Let's do a preview. So what I've got here is I've got a simple move sequence where I'm doing a quick dive. All right, see how my look down gets faster? Ew. So that is kind of a gradual dive. Now, what I want to show you is this. That's a pretty good sequence right here. I mean, I could perfect it. I could make it a little bit better, there's a lot of ways I could do it, but that's a pretty good sequence. Now, what I can do is I can take this sequence right here, all right, and I can make it, I can store that whole sequence. So I've got a sequence, I've got 5 keyframes, 1 through 5, 1 through 5. All right, and I'm going to make move sequence. Make move sequence, keyframes 1 through 5. Okay, that. Now that's the little window here that's telling me, let's see if I can see it. It's telling me that my move sequence is a walk forward 2, right here. And then there's a walk forward and a look down 1, that's right here. Walk forward, look down 2 is right here. Look down 3. Okay. And I'm going to call this mild dive. If I could. Mild dive. Okay. All right. Mild, I'm going to slow dive down as the description. All right. I'm going to save this new sequence. Yes, save it. Good. Now, I'll close this window here. So now what I've got here is I've got a sequence which I call a mild dive, and that's right here. So these are pre-stored move sequences that I can call upon and implement in my application. So let's do this. Let's start over here. All right, I just want to get a clean slate here, yes, and we're gonna trash all of this stuff up here, and I'm gonna pull the parameter down. I got to back up a little bit here. Okay, so let's do this now. let's walk forward. I got to get into capture mode here. I'm gonna walk forward 1. Walk forward 1. How'd that happen? Oh, I see. Okay. Get that turned off. Okay. Good. Done. Okay. Now I'm saying to myself, I've got a move sequence here which I call a mild dive. So I can come up here and I can pick mild dive. I can take a look at it. Okay. All right, what I did is I opened up this question mark here, which gave me a window, and this is what my mild dive looks like. All right. Okay, fine. Now I can apply that. All right. Now I'm just taking my hands off the controller here so you can see. I'm going to apply that, and this mild dive, all of those keyframes are going to be injected into and the Mandelbulb navigator will move. I'm going to apply. There's my mild dive move sequence that's being injected into my whole scene. All right. So what this does, this will end the capture. What this did, here's the 2 keyframes that I had done before. And then here is the mild dive. All right. So what the Copilot can do for you is it allows you to store moves that you liked, sequences, a sequence of moves, 1 keyframe, 5 keyframes, 20 keyframes, whatever you want. You can store those sequences, and then you can apply those sequences in your animation, saving you from having to retype it in all over again. Now, if we come over to the Move Designer, let's get out of capture mode. All right, and now I can take a look at the mild dive, and I see here what this mild dive looks like. I can modify it here. Let's say I don't want that move forward to be 2. I want it to be 1. So here I picked it. I'm going to change it to a 1. Okay, update it. Yes. Okay, now this one here, I'm going to change that to a 1, update the move sequence. There we go. So I have modified my move sequence, you see, over here in the Move Designer. Now, so when I'm back in the Animation Copilot, if I take a look at my mild dive, you see here it's a walk forward of 1 and a walk forward of 1 because I modified it. It used to be 2. Okay? So this is a very simple demonstration of move sequences that are sequences of multiple keyframes, of multiple moves per keyframe, up to multiple, that can be stored in the database and called up again to be replicated into your animation scene. In time, you can build a library of these move sequences, and all the work that you put into those move sequences is all stored in the database that you can call up and apply to future animations. You can have a move sequence that has 30, 40, 50 keyframes if that's what you want. Now that may not work well for every single Mandelbulb scene. Your move sequences will typically be 3 moves, maybe 10, 5 or 6, and they're just kind of short little bursts of movement that you've pre-thought out, have stored in the database, and then can call up and apply to an animation project at any time you want. Okay? So that's what I call move sequences, and that is also built into the Copilot. All right? All right? So we cover a lot of territory here. There's more. I'll tell you what. Let's end this session here, and when we come back, I want to show you one other keyframe manipulation capability I think you'll find interesting. All right? All right, I'll see you in the next session. See you there.